This is the Looking Glass platform, and as you log in, you are on the dashboard page, which shows the current projects. As you scroll down, you can also filter in which projects you'd like to see based on which ones you're working on. On the left side, you have a menu, has the projects list as well of all of the projects. Clients would be for architects and design firms that want to have an email and associated login here with the number of projects that they have, and their users would be for their employees that they could add in and specify per projects. Also, you can add on the architect's clients to be able to see specific information of specific projects, which is up to the architect on what they want to show. If I go into one of the projects, you can see the back-end storage of all the content. This can be visible by architect or by client. It's up to the architect's discretion. You can see the stored renderings of the experience I'm about to walk you through. You can store your construction documents here, so they're very easily accessible. If I want to see an elevation sheet, I can just click on it and it pops up in a different browser, but everything in one place. If I scroll back, you can see the points of interest that we've created in the experience, and this is a way for the architect to create certain views that they want the user or client to see, and they can also press play, and instead of physically walking through the space with the arrow keys, they can cycle through the points of interest. At the bottom we have a comments page, and this is used for quick and communication between architect and client. Both user roles are allowed to add comments in the scene. And then you can also reply, so it's a very easy way to communicate back and forth what you like or what's changing within the project, and then you can mark it as resolved once that comment is fixed. I'll go ahead and jump in. Anywhere you see this 360 button, you can jump into the experience. It pops open a separate tab so that you always have access to the project itself, or you have access to the online walkthrough. So here I can use my mouse to turn my head and to look around. Anything that you see highlighting when your mouse is on it is interactable, so if I click on that, it'll open up the coat closet so you can see the storage there, and you can close to click it as well. And then use the arrow keys to walk through the space. So you're actually immersed into the full design and can see the exact visuals of the plans that the designer has created. If that's too challenging for navigation for some clients, you can also just click on the floor wherever you'd like to go, and it will autonomously take you to that point, so you can see different views like that as well. In the top right, we have a hamburger menu of tools that we've given features available for the Looking Glass. They start with the points of interest, and again, these are all tied to the site as well. So you can click on the list and have a list of all the different points of interest that you've set for your client to view. So if I wanted to go into the master bedroom, I can just click on that point of view and it'll take me there. We also have a rendering tool, this camera here. At any time you like the view, you or your client, and you want to send this or use it for marketing, you can just click on this little camera tool and it'll save a thumbnail at the bottom right that you see here. And then of course on the back end, on the site, if you go back into the project, you'll see it right here in the renderings tab. You can click on that and you have a high-res view of that rendering, and you can download it straight from the site. We also have a feature for inventory. This can change layouts, materials, and different furniture depending on what your project specific needs are. In this case, we changed the materials to show an option 1 or 2, depending on what the user wants the scene to look like or which apartment they're looking to purchase. We also have an in-scene commenting tool. So if you click on this little pen, you can have a list view just like the points of interest to see what all comments were made and where they were made. Or within the scene, you can see these little pink bubbles, and they also are the comments in scene. You can click on either one of those and it will take you to the image where the comment was written, and also a short description. And then if you want to reply right here, you can. Again, it's tied to the back end and will update immediately. And you can mark it as resolved here if it has been completed. Lastly, we have a measuring tool, and this is useful for at any time you want to figure out what the width or dimension is of a specific space. You can just hover over that space and hold down the space bar, and it'll give you an exact dimension. The width of this room is 19 foot 11 inches. Now I can let go and I can just let that live there. And if I exit out of the measurements, it will be hidden. If I go back into it, it'll stay there. Or you can use the instead of using the laser pointer, you can use the tape measure tool, which is very similar, but allows you to get dimensions of spots that the laser measure wouldn't work. So I just click and drag to the side, and I can see that the coffee table is 2 foot 7 inches wide. If I want to delete these, I can just click on the end point, and it will remove that from the scene.